tens of millions of healthy Americans are needlessly taking statin drugs because the cholesterol guidelines are pretty corrupt. In 2001, the National Cholesterol Education Program lowered the threshold for what was considered to be high cholesterol. So literally overnight, millions more healthy Americans now had high cholesterol, making them eligible to take statins. But it gets a lot worse. In 2004, that same panel decided to lower the LDL threshold again, qualifying millions more healthy Americans for statin drugs. Now, what's corrupt? It was soon discovered that 8 of those 9 panel members that wrote the 2004 cholesterol guidelines had direct financial ties to statin manufacturers. But that's not even the worst part. In 2013, the cholesterol guidelines were updated one last time by the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology. They lowered the cholesterol criteria even more by removing the LDL threshold altogether. These new updated guidelines now meant more than 70% of healthy Americans qualified for statin drugs, bringing in billions of more dollars of revenue literally overnight. However, unfortunately, many healthy people who have high cholesterol are going to continue to take their statins because their doctor told them to, even though their doctor is more than likely receiving financial kickbacks from drug companies when they prescribe statins like Lipitor or Crestor. So if the 2013 cholesterol guidelines aren't backed up by any reputable data, why then did the panel members lower the threshold for how many healthy Americans should be on a statin? Because once again, a majority of the panel members had direct financial ties to statin manufacturers. Several of them had dozens of financial relationships to Big Pharma alone. One panel member, Dr. Jennifer Robinson, received more than $3 million from statin companies following the release of those 2013 guidelines. But this is the absolute worst part. The studies the panel members used to make their recommendations were designed and funded by none other than the statin drug companies themselves. And those studies are not available to the public or even your primary care physician to review. And surprisingly, this is completely legal. So we just have to trust that the drug companies have our best interest at heart. Now, it's unfortunate knowing that tens of millions of healthy Americans are needlessly on statin medications when they are known to have massive side effects. Liver dysfunction, acute renal failure, cataracts, dementia, neuropathy, depression, aggression, and more. So who can we trust? It's up to us to take our health into our own hands. And I'll end it with this. In response to those 2013 cholesterol guidelines, Dr. John Abramson wrote an article in the New York Times where he concluded by saying, quote, "Instead of converting millions of people into statin customers, we should be focusing on the real factors that undeniably reduce the risk of heart disease: healthy diets, exercise, and avoiding smoking."